Hello and welcome back to Jesse's Vintage Garage, and we're going to be working on the 68, trying to get the bottom end into the rolling chassis right now. We finished up the front end here, got all that done in the last video, and then I don't know, I was tinkering around with this and trying to get this set up to where I think it might be, and we got our dip switch and high-low switch installed here, and this has got one of them special little clamps, and I took a different clamp here and mounted it on here all in one unit, because sometimes you can take these grooved clamp pieces and put them in a switch, but I just felt like it'd be up too high and in the way to try to run it up here, so I altered it by putting a clamp that you would have on a lever on the back and did it that way. So anyway, because of the mirror, that's pretty much why. And yeah, we got it kind of routed a little bit. This is about the only wire you're going to have in the front here on this bike, because in 71, after this went on for a couple more years, in 71 they went to the actual switch housings and stuff and had buttons and levers, and we've seen that before in the 71 Tiger. But this is pretty much how clean the front will look until we get like the cables ran. But it's a pretty nice clean bike. Doesn't have a lot of that stuff everywhere. So yeah, let's work on trying to get this bottom end in. We'll probably just jump into it, because we're gonna have to like bear hug this thing and get it in here. And I mean, we don't have the cylinders and stuff on it, and then we'll go from there if we want to work on any more of the motor. But first off, we'll probably take the hardware back out. We know where it needs to go at. Make sure we have a spacer on each side, and we're gonna put this back in. And then we're just gonna, some of the stuff stays loose for now, and some of this stuff we need to make sure it's tight, because it can get hidden when the unit motor gets set in here. There we are, we got the bottom end in. I tried recording it on the tripod the whole event. I was putting it in and thought it was recording, and of course it didn't. And we don't want to take it back out now. But anyway, we put some rags down to protect the frame when we set it in there. We made sure the spacers were in the spots they need to be in between the frame and the case on both sides, and put the center stud through and the front one. Later they changed this to a plate, made it a lot easier to put.
They put a plate over here.
Over there? Okay.
With two bolts here, and then the one that went through here.
That would have been a lot easier to install in this motor with that. But the 68 didn't have that, where we need to tighten our hardware up here and down here. Then we're ready to start putting the plates and stuff on. So
actually, well, I think we want to put the plates on before we tighten up all the hardware.
Yeah, make sure it's like, yeah, it might not line up then if we don't.
Right.
All right, work on the side plate for the brake pedal side, and we're wanting to grease the pivot point there for the brake lever. There's not a grease zerk on this.
No, but there's an oiling hole. The trouble is, the oiling hole's kind of in a odd spot.
Like in the back when it's
oh,
on?
No, it's like this. You can put some oil in there, a drip every now and then. But I thought a little grease wouldn't hurt a bit.
Then we'll put this on, and then this piece.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. And this is square hole, and it's got a square standoff there on the lever. And according to the picture in the book here, it's at a 90-degree angle. It goes like this, and it's straight up from there. So we'll put it on just like that.
Divot in or out?
Looks like it's
out. Like this.
Yeah, he got it just right like that. Yep. Because then the rod comes in through there and guides through there, and then the pin hooks onto that.
Like this.
Yep, exactly.
I don't think it's way over here.
No, it's 90 degrees from this thing.
It could be.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right here?
Yeah, right like that.
Pretty close to 90.
Yeah, okay. Then there's a lock washer and a hex nut.
Okay.
And of course, that's a Whitworth hex nut.
Yes, this part is Whitworth. Which way does the pin go? We didn't have to do it first.
No, it's part of the rod. It's like
the rod's got a 90, and then
Yeah, right.
a pin goes back here.
Right. Cotter pin.
Yep.
Just split pin or whatever you want to call it.
Hold on to that. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to go put this one on. The other one's really easy. It doesn't have anything on it. All right, so according to the book, we got the bolts going the right way. The top one here, to clear the chain and stuff, the head of the bolt goes from the inside going outward, and then the nuts on the outside. This one here, the head of the bolt's going this direction with the nut inside here. Down here, the lower one that attaches to the motor and stuff, it is coming from the inside going out, nut on the outside, and then bolt going in, the nut on the inside there. Just like kind of like this picture shows. It doesn't show it completely 100% because just there wasn't probably room in the picture. But the bolt right here isn't in the print, but this one's ×2, and that one is ×2 for the other side. It doesn't show the other one for down there on that side. So now we're gonna go to the other side and work on this plate, leaving all this loose so we can tighten it up all in the end. So we got the right side fixed all up, ready to go, and this is the plate, of course, and these pedals, the pegs here. I didn't really talk about them much. They just have 2 pins that line up with the hole, and then they just tighten up with this huge nut here. It's like a Whitworth size too. It's a big one. I don't remember offhand which one it is.
7/16.
Yeah, 7/16 Whitworth. That's big. Anyway, keeps it from moving around, which is good. I like how it's pinned like that. 71 was a little bit different. Had a nut on the outside, but it still had pins. Yeah, so the bolts that go to the motor on this side, they are different than the other side. And it's ×2 in the parts book. I put a washer on the back side. And yeah, I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but
We're going to have to jiggle.
yeah, we got to wiggle a little bit here to get to fit in. And then, yeah, nothing else special. It's just the same setup. All right, we have all this set up properly, and we just kind of got them snug. Now we're ready to start going around and lining up everything and making sure, you know, like the stud's centered with the same amount of threads on both sides of the nut. I mean, that's just something I want. And same with the one down here. It kind of annoys me when there's all a bunch of thread on one side and it's like flush or in on the other side. I see that sometimes and stuff. Yeah, then we'll go around there and starting over there, work our way around.
Okay, for now. We're in a little socket.
We got these 2 nuts here nice and centered and tight up here. They're just a shade of the stud is hanging on both sides. And then down here at the bottom here we have a little bit like 1 or 2 threads on both sides hanging out. This is set up pretty nice. So nice and even on both them studs. We're just finishing up tightening up all the bolts here that holds on. This one here, these on now is actually 3/4 inch. American standard, and everything else was Whitworth, so it's kind of funny. So he's going to do the other one over there, but this kind of comes to the end of here on this segment here. We'll dive into this a little bit more, but yeah, we took this apart just because I remembered we didn't have a gasket in there, and yeah, it is what it is. And then we get a chance to check out the primary a little bit more while we're in here, so we'll probably do that in the next video and go from there as we start putting this motor together. So I hope you enjoyed everything, and we'll see you again soon.